Closing the loop on a couple of other stories. This is from like it's from the weekend at CPAC in Texas. Marjorie Taylor Greene, and actually this may not have been at CPAC. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. It was around the time that CPAC took place. Marjorie Taylor Greene is insisting there were no Trump rioters on January 6th. It was Antifa. But she also says that the Trump people are being treated poorly by being held in pretrial detention. Well, but so what?
Real honest, I'm always honest about it. I was upset that day. I was a brand new member of Congress. I'd worked very hard on objecting to Joe Biden's electoral college votes because I believe that was my role and what I wanted to do. And
yeah, that was her desire.
I believe it was the right thing. I would do it today. I would do it tomorrow.
Oof.
But I was very upset. I never expected anything like that. And when it happened, I thought, this is Antifa. And no one can convince me it was so-called Trump supporters. Right. But and we know there's a lot wrong there, and I cannot wait for real investigations.
Is that what's going to happen?
Yeah, we will do real. But let me say this though. Yeah.
And then Marjorie Taylor Greene also pointing out they will indeed do investigations of the investigation into January 6th if they get into power in November. That I believe her. I do believe that she's actually telling the truth about that. The weirdest thing about this is that Marjorie Taylor Greene, on the one hand, wants us to believe the people being investigated and charged for the things they did on January 6, 2021 are being treated poorly because they're Trump supporters. But at the same time, she insists they weren't really Trump supporters. It was Antifa, for which, of course, there is no evidence whatsoever. So how could both be true? How could it be that the Trump supporters didn't do anything on January 6th, and also the Trump supporters from January 6th aren't being treated correctly by the justice system and by the jail system in which they are being held in pretrial detention? Well, I'm sure she can find some way to explain it to people who pay no attention to reality. It would probably be something like, well, here's what happened. Pretend I'm a moron, right? Pretend I'm trying to figure out a way to make both of these things plausible. Here's the way that they would do it. There were Trumpists in D.C. on January 6th, but none of them committed any acts of violence or property crime or anything. They weren't the rioters. Antifa did the riots, and then law enforcement arrested innocent Trump supporters who were there just for the rally and is treating them poorly in bad conditions, one guy without vegan food in pretrial detention. I think that's the way someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene puts the two stories together. It wasn't Antifa. It was Trump supporters. The science has shown us that one of the ways to achieve consistent deep sleep is to lower your core body temperature at night. It also is just really uncomfortable to be too hot when you're trying to sleep. Our longtime sponsor, Chili Sleep, makes customizable, climate-controlled sleep solutions that improve your sleep by keeping you cool at night. Chili Sleep's Cube and Uller sleep systems are hydro-powered mattress toppers. They fit on your existing mattress, and they provide the ideal sleep temperature. You can keep your bed as cool as 55 degrees or as hot as 115. I like 62, personally. Stop waking up hot and sweaty in the middle of the night with Chili Sleep. You'll stay cool all night and stay asleep. You're really going to experience a totally different bed when you install this thing. Chili Sleep has been a total game changer for me. I didn't even know it was possible to cool your bed down like this before discovering Chili Sleep. It's fantastic. And Chili Sleep is the only company on the market doing it like this. You'll get 30% off your new Cube or Uller sleep system at chilisleep.com/Pacman. The link is down below.